Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. At TCM, we like to present a variety of programming, including documentaries about the life and careers of some of Hollywood's fascinating people. So for the next several hours, we're going to take a look at a handful of biopics and biodocs about legendary stars such as James Stewart, Spencer Tracy, Henry Fonda, Katharine Hepburn, and Humphrey Bogart. And as a special treat, we have the two filmmakers responsible for the documentaries in our lineup, Joan Kramer and David Heeley, who'll be joining me to introduce their films. Joan and David have written a book about the making of these documentaries and what it's like to work with people like Katharine Hepburn, Lauren Bacall, and others. The book called In the Company of Legends, which is being released this month. Welcome, Joan Kramer and David Heeley.
Thank you.
Good to have you
Robert.
here.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, I love your book.
Thank you.
Yes, it's so interesting.
Thank you.
Up first, we have a TCM premiere of a biodoc that Joan and David made in 1987, all about Jimmy Stewart. It's called James Stewart, A Wonderful Life. Now, what was he like to work with?
Oh, he was adorable. The image and the man were very much alike.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise, except for a phone call that I had with a man named Hal Cantor, a producer, director, who worked on a Jimmy Stewart series, called The Jimmy Stewart Show in 71, 72. And I wanted to know from him what he had to say about working with Stewart on a daily basis, because he was always a gentleman and always nice and always professional. And I had an eye-opening conversation. And he said to me, Joan, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't mess with him. And he didn't use the word mess, okay? He said, he's been through World War II as the lead pilot in over 25 bombing missions. He knows what he is, he knows what he wants, and he knows what's right for him. Don't try pulling wool over your eyes, and you'll have a wonderful time with him. I was fascinated.
Yeah.
One of the things that came up, of course, was we'd heard that he didn't like to talk about his experiences in the war. But we knew if we were going to do a show about him, we had to deal with that aspect of it. And so at one point in the interview, I said to him, Mr. Stewart, could you tell us what a typical day when you're running a bombing mission over Germany? And he said, no. And brave as I was, I didn't follow up.
Right. You listen to Al Cantor's advice.
No, yes, exactly. I mean,
I was doing this interview with Stewart myself, but a few days later we had him on the Universal backlot with Johnny Carson. And when we told Johnny about this, and I said, Johnny, how do you feel about seeing if he'd talk to you about it? So Johnny gave it a try, and he got a couple of sentences, and that was it.
and Johnny didn't push any further either.
No, he knew not to push any further either than that one.
So did you find him interesting?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing that I loved most was that he said that an actor named Ted Heeley gave him a piece of advice very early on. Never treat your audiences as customers, treat them as your partner. He said he never forgot that. He was very interesting.
One other interesting thing about first meeting Stewart, we went to his home on Roxbury Drive, and into the room walks this tall man, but he was hunched over, very grey looking,
Face.
and almost no life to him at all. When we left, I said to Joan, did we make a terrible mistake? I don't know that this man can hold up a 2-hour program on primetime television. Interestingly, when we actually go to do the interview, he's upstairs in makeup. We've got everything set up in the living room, and I hear him coming down the stairs again. And this time into the room walks James Stewart, the movie star. It's amazing how a person like that can change when he's becoming the performer again.
Right.
And he was like that for the rest of the time. He was absolutely superb.
Right. So let's have a look. Here it is from 1987, and featuring interviews with Richard Dreyfuss, Katharine Hepburn, and Sally Field. Here's the Emmy-nominated biodoc, James Stewart, A Wonderful Life.